Hello, Tom, aka Gedeon here for Star Frontiers Gamer. And we've had a new Frontier map come in. There's actually two of them. There's the referee version and the player version. And I think these are fabulous. And I've got some recommendations for you. These come from the Expanded Frontier blog of Tom Stevens. And so you can find that at expandingfrontier.com is the site. Expandingfrontier.com is the site. And I ordered the maps. And so right here, I ordered the one that was, with the black background and the pretty little nebula represented on there, because it kind of matches this map here that I had printed as a poster and framed, and I've kept by my computer for years to refer to as editor and writer for the fan magazines. This map's actually rotated 90 degrees because it's a PDF page in Star Frontiersman number 6. Now, this map here, turns out it might be in error. I liked it. It's very graphically appealing to the eye. But if you notice down here, it lists this little system as Star Mist. Actually, that's the Star Mist is the name of the planet. Sundown is the name of the system. And so I never looked at this critically. One, I never played Sundown on Star Mist module. And so I just assumed that the map maker had, vetted all this extra information that they had included in here. But it turns out that this might be in error. And because one of the things I noticed here is that Tom Stevens put the Sundown up here just north of the white light system. Now, this makes a little bit of sense because I knew that it was a Versk ship that discovered Sundown system. The VSS Centistede, I believe, was the name of the ship. And the PCs fly into Sundown system for the adventure in the module on the VSS Last Legs, which actually has, despite being a Versk ship, has a human captain. And so I started questioning this because the map is different. And, and I noticed as I was looking at it, boom, right here. I thought, geez, that's so odd. And I know Tom must be aware of the Star Frontiersman 6 map with the location. It's actually out over here, just kind of southwest of Screefron and northwest of Eric's systems. And I wrote into my brief, the brief that I wrote for the Frontier Explorer on the Screefron system, information about Screefron being the jump-off point for ships going to the Sundown system. But as I started looking into this discrepancy, it actually makes more sense that this is the Sundown system over here from a white light system. And let's just pull up the PDF of the module. And I think we can enlarge this. So you see here, it talks about Sundown system. It's newly discovered by the VSS Centistede, the system presently under investigation by the Clarion Department of Extrasolar Affairs. No determination as to procedure or disposition has been made. So if it makes sense, if the Clarion, which the inhabitable planet in the white light system, if their government agency is investigating Sundown and Star Mist, then it makes sense that it would be that system where Tom has put it on the map. So I'm like, all these years I've been using a bad map and referring to sundown system way out west of Arax and the Yazarian space. So th- this is an interesting map. Um, Now I want to point out something that I got the black background version, and there is also on here this black and white version, as you see here. This is the player version of it, and here is the referees one with all these red jump routes for the SAR. And so I bought one each and had them put back to back and laminated together so I can just flip them for use, which was my intention of potentially running a game. But what I discovered is with this, with this black background, I'm not going to be able to write on there with a dry erase marker, even though I've laminated this bad boy. So I have this pretty map and an inability to write upon it unless I get a China marker, a grease pencil that's in white, and then I can draw lines on it, which will be wicked easy to smudge off. So it's very problematic. I might have to go back. I recommend the black and white one if you're going to be using it for play. If you're just using it, if you're just getting it to, because it's pretty, then I would get the one with the black background. But if you're using it for play, I almost want to just push you in the direction of these here. It's and this represents a lot of work. But what's interesting here is I actually have a thumbprint on this map, and over here in this area, this is the Saurian sector that we detailed in Frontier Explorer number 6, I believe. And so we wrote up a whole Saurian sector, and and positioned it here linking off of the Liberty system, which of course is in the Beyond the Frontier series of modules. This one in particular is Liberty is in the War Machine module. So you pass through the Liberty system to get out into Saurian space, and that's it's from here that the Saurians came as refugees into the frontier with their big arc ships, trying to save their population from being decimated by the SAR. So that's you can read up on the Saurian sector. There's a lot of extra information there, and that's in Frontier Explorer 6. Then there's a lot of other details that he's put in here. So down here you have extra jump routes that are known to the UPF that are in black, and these are all detailed in Frisk. Anyone detailing the Sesu home worlds? So that article is in Frontier Explorer 16. And so you can read up on that, and all of this information has been added to this Expanding the Frontier map. And then Tom has gone up here and linked all of these SAR jump routes up in here. And also, it's harder to see on the screen here. He's actually detailed 10 SAR Starship Construction Centers that are on this map. If you go to his blog there, and where are we here? Here we are. So you'll type in SAR Starship Construction Centers and in the search field, and you'll come up with this page that's buried somewhere in his blog. The original post, I don't see the date on this, but so a lot of information. There's a whole ton of information on these construction centers. And so this is worth checking out. He details how much hull space capacity they have, what's under construction there. For instance, SCC-1 has 42 hull sizes of capacity, and it's producing 3 light cruisers under construction at any one time. They're staggered, so one of them comes out every 140 days. There's 6 hull spaces of capacity dedicated to the production of destroyers, one every 80 days. So, there's a lot of information here on these. You'll want to grab this, but you're also going to want to grab, if you get these maps, and the extended frontier map star systems. There's a little bit of writing here, but what he has is this huge table of all of these stars that are on the map, uh, all of them, and it's so you have um, these are the name systems within the frontier. Then you have frontier sector systems, which have these codes FS for frontier sector, and then number codes tells you what the maps are. If there's any notes, for instance, this FS38. This is the approximate location of the Ebony Eyes system. It's shown to be down one and right two squares, so you could replace the two stars with the black holes. So the Ebony Eyes star system of twin black holes was detailed in a Dragon magazine article. He's accounted for that here with an extra note. Um, then you've got the outer frontier sector systems, and this is where all of your most of your SAR construction centers, like OFS 019 is SAR Starship Construction Center 5. So there's notes here, but these other lines you can fill in notes yourself as you're running a game here. And let's just scroll to the bottom, and at the bottom here you can just hit download and download this as a PDF and print it out, which is what I've done here, so that as I'm working with the map, I can start making notes in here. Now, it would be nice if eventually we got this. This is the astrographic catalog from Zebulon's Guide. This would be the digitally remastered Zebulon's Guide copy, and hence this funky border. But this astrographic catalog, which gives you all this information on the star system and the habitable planet that's there. So this would be, I hope this would be something that comes out. Maybe I don't know if Tom's planning that, but this level of detail would be nice. A catalog like this for all of the star systems would be truly amazing and useful to a game master running these games. So there is a ton of material in Tom's blog, and I highly encourage you to check it out. These maps are for sale, and so you can get. I don't know if the black and white ones are for sale. Player map, U.S. only, referee map, both maps. Player map, referee map, both maps. So I think it's only the pretty map is the ones for sale, which is too bad because I really think the ones you need are the black and white ones with the red lines for the SAR jump sites, where you'd actually be able to laminate it and then, use a dry erase marker to, or even a wet erase marker to, draw the jump routes that the players explore as they venture beyond the frontier into SAR space. So this is a great support for a campaign, particularly if you're doing a scout ship campaign and you're probing the frontiers of the going beyond the frontier of the frontier sector. For example, you've got the Saurian sector that's got a nice write-up, but coming down here past Lynchpin, which is a secret military base, you can have a whole UPF Nighthawks game of, the player characters are scouts in a scout ship, probing these systems, learning about what's going on with the SAR there. And, once the UPF finds out about this SAR Construction Center right here, so close to the frontier, they're going to want to hit that thing. And that could be a big Nighthawks battle. So, a whole scouting campaign in this area would be of interest. Maybe making first contact with the SESU. Maybe the SESU supply information on all these SAR systems. The UPF, if this here is history, the War Machine module, if that's past history, then the UPF has taken out this Starship Construction Center here in the Liberty system. So, then taking out another one, it's chipping away its SAR capability to invade the frontier and to go to war. Just taking out this whole area and trimming everything back to the Liberty system eliminates this path into the heart of the frontier and greatly increases security for the frontier sector. And then the Saurians no doubt will help with trying to clean up the Saurian sector, because no doubt the Saurians are going to want to reclaim their home world in the Titian system, which is right here, which eventually would lead to working up this east side of the map. So there's great possibilities. Now, one little detail that Tom has thrown in here, and I had not found any information in his blog on it, is right up here. This system is called Tetrarch Complex, which right away draws your eye and makes you go, because the Tetrarchs are on Laco in the not the Cassadine. Where are you here? Dixon star system, which is right here. If you can see the cursor moving, but so suddenly we have another Tetrarch complex under the control of the SAR. I always wrote in that when the SAR discovered that there were Tetrarch ruins on Laco, that they were hot to capture those, and that's why Laco, you had battles there, some of the ground battles of tanks from the Royal Guard, from the Clarion system, and the newly raised ground fleet units for the newly organized UPF were brought in to fight the SAR. So you've got this Tetrarch complex. I mean, that just makes you go, what's that all about? I mean, it just begs for adventure heading in that direction. Although tracing these jump routes back, this is a long haul to be able to get to here. Apparently, this is a dark nebula that you're not flying through, because these jump routes go all the way around. So, fantastic resource. He has done an awful lot, and I highly recommend it. And I don't know if this image can be if it'll blow up and print well. But this is the type of thing you'd almost want to get this printed for play. And I'm looking at it, because once it's laminated, then you're writing on it. You didn't even have to laminate; you just write on it in pencil, I suppose. But great resource in the frontier, and man, Tom has incorporated an awful lot. I've been bouncing around his blog, and I've never really been a blog person. I check in, see what the new stuff is in a social site, in the .us forums. It hit the what's new button. I've just never been. I just never had the habit of checking in on a blog. I've tried, and it was just not me. So I've been missing out on a really lot of cool content that Tom has on his blog. There's just a ton of it here. I mean, look at all these blog posts going back to 2018. Oh, he must have started this back during the Evil Hat affair, trademark grab. And he's been, plugging away at this, expanding the frontier, creating new content. And it's well developed. I was just reading a lot of the Azarian history he's incorporated in here. Very cool stuff. So you might want to be bouncing around this expanding frontier, mining some of this data that he's put in here. So I highly recommend it. I love my new maps. Might have to grab those black and white maps and see how well they blow up and what level I can print them as a poster, how big of a poster I can print them before they pixelate and look crappy. But definitely, I think I need the black and white ones for play, just so you can write on them. And these are gorgeous for just having to refer to. But definitely a great resource. I highly recommend it. Like I said, on his site, there is a tab here. You can click Order Map. He's also got recreated miniatures. He's done some of his own that he sells to make a little bit of profit. That profit defrays maintaining servers that maintain websites for the fan magazines and for the .us forums. So if you visit this blog, I would recommend order something, and toss a bone, so that buy him a little cup of coffee. He could use it. He bears expenses, and he's borne these expenses for years willingly for the frontier. So Tom's a great frontiersman, a great champion of the frontier, and I'm glad to call him a friend. And I want to promote his website because these maps are great. I ordered them from him late last year, and I just now got them laminated. So thanks for watching. Thanks to my subscribers. You guys are great, and I will see you in the frontier.